Hi guys, so today let's talk about 5 things that you can do to bring more hygge into your life this autumn. So I've had a few questions about hygge in relation to a video where I referenced it, where I was talking about drivers and how daydreaming was helping me in my 60-day quest for resetting and addressing a system approach rather than a goal approach to life. And I thought, why not talk about 5 things that everyone can do to bring more of it into our life? But first, I want to just say it is hygge, not hygge. And what hygge is, roughly, is that charming, special, not bonded by time element of being in your life. It's very mindful and present based, and with my prior video talking about shadow work, which is dealing with a lot of stuff that's based in the past and where we're potentially going as we bring light into something, if we can just shelve those types of activities as we work on those inner aspects of ourselves and do something that's a little bit more of a cozy aspect of our present being. And the word cozy is the thing that a lot of people associate with hygge. So number 1 on my list of things that you can bring more hygge into your life this autumn is bring nature closer to home. Bring it more inside your home. I was talking about Maybon. One of our annual traditions is always collecting things from a nature walk and making wreaths that sort of display what's coming in full color and texture that appeals to us on our walk to represent sort of our theme or our energy for that autumn. And that is one way to bring it inside, but a lot of people you'll see decorate with winter squash or corn stalks, things that are end of season harvest from our garden spaces. And that's also a lovely idea too. And another beneficial thing that brings us more sensory into our life is the idea of bringing more herbs from the garden and letting them dry out into our home. As they dry out for something that you're going to use throughout the winter for cooking anyway, if you welcome that process closer to your living space, you get the sensory of those aromatic, lingering smells that just bring a whole lot of nostalgia, but also inspiration to what you're potentially going to be cooking up with everything that you've grown over the summer in your garden. You get to use all of those potential winter squash and root vegetables with the promise of many soups and stews to come. So on the topic of smells and sensory and cooking, my number 2 is have a little bake-off. And you can do this with inviting friends over and having you and a couple of intimate, close friends just have a little bake-off with each other, or you can just engage with yourself in your personal time exploring a new baking recipe. You can batch breakfast buns and have them ready to go in a frozen aspect of storage. I know for me, I've been actually making more waffles than I have in the past and freezing them knowing that they are just ready to pop in the toaster oven for Caleb to grab on the Sunday mornings where he sleeps in and gets a late start. They're there for him whenever. But also with the bake-off, you get to explore new recipes and you get to challenge yourself and you get lost in this hobby of discovering what new things you might like that you haven't gotten to work with in a while in the kitchen. My number 3 for bringing, this is 3. My number 3 for bringing more hygge into your home for the autumn season is have a fire. And I know for us, we have been using our outdoor fire pit a little bit more this year, making it more of a outdoor living space. And for some people, that could be having a nice little cozy fireplace setting for the evening where you get to bring fire into your home. But you can also have a little fire if you don't have either of those things by just lighting a bunch of tea lights and sitting in a room where it's just lit by candlelight. Let that feeling of warmth from the light sort of carry you away from your environment and change the lighting and the mood. So my number 4 for bringing more hygge into your life is going to require just a little bit of work first, but then there's a little bit of a payoff in a big type of way. Rearrange or clear out a living space. And so I've talked about, and you've seen me do some work in my 60-day system reset, where if by changing your environment, you get to re-explore new ways of inspiration by looking at things objectively in a different way. And this is coming from a very real and rational place of physically looking at things in a new place, but you could also gain perspective by seeing a new viewpoint that you're now sitting from, or you've now invested into the character of this new space, so you get to enjoy that new creation that you have put together. And something that I've talked about in the codependency theory conversation I had about a month ago, where surround yourself with more photos. I know it's easy to put them on your devices and you go through and you can constantly scroll and have access to them, but actually surround yourself with them in these spaces. You get to constantly revisit those great memories, and if you swap them out and physically look at them, it offers you a rotation of new inspiration, as well as that feeling of nostalgia for fond memories and great laughs and great times that you've had with other people and exploring the world with yourself in the past. And my number 5, I keep doing weird things with my hand. And my number 5 for bringing more Hygge into your life this autumn is to make time to not be limited by time. And what do I mean by that? I mean, free a whole afternoon and block it off in your schedule and just allow yourself to re-engage with a hobby or a passion of yours, where maybe you spend a whole afternoon reading or knitting or painting or putting together a Lego castle with a niece or nephew, or doing a puzzle for yourself, or making a cup of tea and just writing some poetic thoughts down in a naturistic setting. Get lost in something that you're passionate about and not something that you feel responsible to. Allow yourself to lose track of time and to just be in that moment with whatever that hobby or passion of yours is. I talk a lot about being unique and stepping into yourself in that aspect of you are special because of your uniqueness, and everyone's going to do their own thing, their own type of way. And this is a prime example of how you can allow yourself to embrace and grow confidence in yourself by just engaging in the things that you're passionate about and losing track of time and bringing more Hygge into your life. Hygge is going to look like all kinds of different things to whomever is interpreting it, right? So Hygge could be a warm bowl of oatmeal on a weekend morning. It could also be getting up for a sunrise walk and then going back to bed for a couple of hours and getting back up. It could be, again, it could be reading, it could be knitting, it could be binding your besom, it could be making a new recipe or getting lost in the kitchen with a new baking recipe. It could be aquascaping something. It could be fixing an old bike. It could be putting on a comfortable sweater and just listening to lo-fi music as you watch the birds feed from one of the feeders out of a window. Bring more of that Hygge present, cozy, charismatic, charming lifestyle into your day-to-day, and you will have a wonderfully pleasant aspect to look forward to this autumn. So let me know down below, what do you find as Hygge in your life, and what are you going to do to bring more of it into yours? Are you going to explore one of these 5 ideas, or do you have another idea that I might explore this autumn? Share with me. Again, share with me. I'd love to know. I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Tschüss.